Welcome, Cablevision HD. I am Complacent Badger, and I'm with,
Impy.
and we are in week 2.
It looks like we get to look at your team now.
Yes, a game that I was very much looking forward to. Going against AV7, and their whole team skill is dodge.
Yeah, that is a huge benefit for you. Of course, we always run into the same problem when we look at dwarves. Your team in particular, which is that slow speed, trying to keep up with this dodgy team, but dodge doesn't matter against you, so it's a lot of fun for you.
So I did take your advice from last week. I have,
Yeah,
I have
look
set,
at you
I
taking
have,
care of wings and shit.
I did. I set my defenses appropriately. And now, you can't get mad at me when I lose.
I mean, I can because offense was where I said you should cover your wings, but we'll see.
Oh, that's
We'll see.
right. That's right.
Yeah, offense was where you weren't doing it.
Look at that sweet line with that perfect defense.
So here's a question.
Mm-hmm.
Since he was not engaged on the line, why not move those two wings up directly onto the line with as much space as possible?
Mm. I don't have a reason, 2 or 4. I think what might have been in my mind at the time was if somebody manages to get through, I don't have the movement allowance to get back.
Oh, that would make sense. Gotcha.
I mean,
So
I don't
you're
know
not quite going full safety, but
yeah. And I also got, not that I knew at the time, but a really amazing kick.
this is a really nice kick. This is probably the best case scenario for your team shy of an actual blitz.
Mm-hmm.
You get to reset up your dwarves in a nice pattern for you. You're essentially getting first hit. And he took a very, I don't want to say passive, but a very conservative route here by just moving guys back. He didn't even try to dodge out those Amazons on the line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he definitely has the movement allowance that he could have gotten away from me.
Could have gotten away with it for you meddling
Yeah.
kids.
So we started off with a stun. It's pretty good. And dropping those stuns.
Go.
I don't know if you've noticed, but something about me in Blood Bowl 2 is that I love stuns. Ow.
You do love stuns, I will say. Apparently not go for it, though. But
No.
I guess that really hasn't changed since Blood Bowl 1.
No. Dropping stuns.
Not that we can tell the future, but I believe in a future game, you actually love both downs and pushes.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to guess.
Look at that pass, or handoff, I guess.
Alright, so he's setting up, it looks like a cage towards the middle of the field here.
I guess that's just gonna say block infinitely, even though that player, that line woman does have block.
Yep. Yeah,
Ah.
oh yeah, that one leveled up.
Yeah.
He also has what appears to be a mercenary.
Yeah, so I guess when you hit control 3 times, the third one doesn't show the abilities that come standard, so if you know the pieces, but it will give you all the extra abilities that they've learned.
Yes.
So that's
Yes.
pretty cool.
That is why it's my favorite, especially because in my off time, I run a second undead team. And turns out, not to be racist, but all ghouls look alike.
Ooh.
So.
Alright, so I am closing in on this cage with Fury.
There's one thing I worry about a little bit here, and while he's not going to have a lot of places to go in the cage, I can already see there's one line woman who's not going to get picked up here at the beginning. There's going to be some guys who can potentially get out on the edge. So we'll see if that ends up being a factor. It may not, because, restricted movement from not having to get up, but
Yeah.
that could lead to some outside receivers, and you're really limited on your movement.
Well, the thing that I'm looking at is that it's specifically why I put this player here. is
Yeah.
that I can one die to get this line woman away, and the only person that's unengaged that has a lot of movement right now are going to be these two, and I have her down, so nobody's going to get over midfield, which
Yeah.
I'm way back beyond that. So this guy is playing close safety right now. See,
Yeah.
that's what I expected to happen.
Yep. And you can 100% get there in time. So
Yeah.
that is good placement on that. That was the only thing I was thinking. I was like, oh man, cannot afford to let somebody get out.
And then
This
I
is a very
picked
aggressive.
it.
What is that? What is that?
Oh, yeah,
That's. Is that a glitch? That has to be a glitch.
no,
That.
for some reason he did a body pass, and my dwarf just reached up and got it. That chest pass did not work out for him.
Yeah. Wow. I was gonna just say, it's like that's a very aggressive
Yeah.
pass to a very unprotected receiver. But I guess it doesn't matter if a dwarf intercepts a pass.
So
Is that the first interception in dwarf history?
probably. I think he was hailing to the crowd to throw him another beer, and the
Oh.
ball just hit his fleshy mitt.
You know what? That does make sense. That actually makes the most sense.
So yeah, my safety no longer needs to play back safety. So now we just go back to getting into not quite yet my patented dwarf mosh pit because not
Yeah.
everybody has guard yet. But we're replicating it.
Yeah.
My,
These are some reckless, well, not reckless. They're actually extremely calculated because you have a huge edge with tackle and block on basically your whole team.
yeah,
Actually, no, on literally your whole team.
yeah.
But man, one dies with a bandit just
Yeah.
everywhere.
I have to do it though because I need to get player advantage. I will lose and lose quickly if I cannot outnumber him. And if you haven't noticed, I haven't even thrown a KO yet.
Yeah, your team is probably the player advantage is probably the most important for your team compared to any other team in the league.
Yes.
Especially with the build that you like for dwarves in general, I would say that's objectively
Mm-hmm.
true. With your build in general, because you run all long beards, probably doubly so.
All right. So now, if he picks this up, I'm basically not going to be able to do anything. I have one last ditch effort against him, but if I remember correctly, I don't think I even go for it because I'll let him have this touchdown to get all these hits.
Yeah.
Because he is completely engaged with me, and I need to hurt these ladies.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping a trade for a touchdown for a few players.
Yeah, and that definitely gives you the best chance to win.
Yeah, because
in the long run.
at this point, I'm hoping that I'm hoping for a 1-1, or rather, I'm planning on a 1-1, hoping for a 2-1.
Yeah. And you're actually in good shape. If he can score in the next next turn or two, which he should actually score, I believe, in 2 turns,
Mm-hmm.
barring an unnecessary go for it or two.
Mm-hmm.
If he can score in that time, then that'll give you 3 to 4 turns to get downfield, which is, interestingly, basically the exact movement you need to accomplish that.
Exactly. And I know, I'm one of the first people to say don't go for 1-dies, but this team has no options but 1-dies.
Yeah.
'Cause
Your team is basically built for 1-dies with tackle, with block, particularly in this matchup. I may not necessarily go for as many 1-dies against, say, a Norse team where you're at a strength disadvantage
Yes.
and there's also as much block. But here, where your strength equals, you have the AV advantage, and you have, I would say, a block advantage because of that block and tackle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, throw them like crazy.
Yeah. And even if I drop a person, me failing these doesn't matter because none of these players other than the ball carrier is important, and the ball carrier's already gone.
Yeah.
So even if I fail it, it's not going to ruin the drive because the drive is already sold.
Right.
All right, so I got a KO. It's so far that that's, and all right, pushing.
Oh, so it's multiple games that you dig the pushes in both downs. Okay.
Yes. Trying everything I can to get these ladies on the ground, but they are they are tenacious.
Interesting that you wouldn't move this one guy, number 6, who's doing nothing, to try to make that a 2-die.
No, never.
Because that potentially could have freed up somebody else to do a blitz and get a 3-die.
And this is what I'm doing. I figured because it's AG3, and I saved it for last, or like close to last, because I was really you could see that I waited on the blitzers because there's a lot less chance. But before going against the blitzers, I was like, you know what? I'll get him over there. Maybe maybe he'll mess this up.
Haha, look who was slightly inconvenienced for a brief moment.
Yeah, and it did not work out. But I did attempt to stop the drive.
Yeah. An attempt was made.
Mm-hmm.
We'll give you your ugly star sticker when we get a chance.
All right. So setting back up, he got his KO back, so I effectively did nothing.
Except give up a touchdown.
Yes. So I gained nothing for everything. So at this point, I'm still having a good time playing because, I'm just throwing hits and this team's fun to play. But I will say it is minorly frustrating to kind of concede a touchdown in hopes of getting something in return and getting literally nothing.
Yeah.
Not to mention, I'm coming off of a game against primarily AV7 with some AV8 dashed in there.
Mm-hmm.
Or I think it might actually be the other way around, because Liv, I think, is primarily AV8. But anyways, a lower AV team.
Might be AV8.
The Kislev Circus is a lower AV than me, and I did not do much against them either.
So remember that time you were like, "Hey, listen to your advice." Did not. No, you did not.
Never.
Just to make it abundantly clear, this is a nice virtual way of telling me to go fuck myself.
Well, I did play this before we were recording.
Yeah, I know, but we're keeping up the illusion.
Oh.
The illusion magic.
Oh. Look at that.
Killing it.
Just getting those pushes. And like, of all the players that I want to hurt, it's the mercenary, so that it doesn't hurt Jester's team.
Yeah. Trying real hard. But no, that's a tough merc.
Yeah.
Guess you get what you don't pay for.
Mm-hmm. That dwarven
Just
pass.
put that in there. Hey, it's forward movement, man. Still counts.
Yep.
So you've got 2 turns, and technically enough movement to score.
Yes.
Still technically have enough movement to score. I will color me skeptical.
I will say that my primary goal is still to reduce his numbers, or else I have no chance in the second half.
Yeah.
Because even if I were to get a touchdown out of what ridiculousness and no rerolls, he would basically just immediately score on me in the second half.
As many are wont to do. I spend all this time trash talking your team, but we both know what's going to happen anytime I have to play against anyone's team, and that's pretty much lose. So.
Yes. So I'm even so desperate that I don't even need the SPP. Like, I'll push you out. That's fine. Like,
it's good. We're good. All right, picking it up, moving. Shifting the cage forward. Look at you. This is even a real cage.
yeah.
So now the next question is, do you dodge out with that other dwarf so you actually have a chance at scoring here? Or do you...
I don't know.
Let's see. Well, there's gonna be a 2-die uphill. That's not the worst thing for you.
Especially with the catcher there.
Yeah. Yep, doing the 2-die uphill. You I
Can
think still technically have. Nope, you don't.
no, yeah,
You do.
I should be one shy.
Yeah. I had to do a real quick count. I was like, is that 6 or 7? And I think that's 7.
He is still going for that ball though.
Oh yeah. He also is not in a position to score.
No, but he's throwing hits and trying to get to that ball.
So, and I hadn't been paying attention to this because anytime I can see a dwarf score, that's usually a fun day for me.
Mm-hmm.
It just, it's such a rare occasion. But Jester had a real chance here to potentially do something. Like it wasn't the highest chance by any means, but weirder things happen in Blood Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
It seems odd he wouldn't at least leave one person down there to try.
Oh yeah. Maybe
Right.
maybe he didn't think of it. Maybe he's not watching the time and doesn't realize that it's kind of a last ditch effort. Because I'm definitely not playing like it's a last ditch effort. You know what I mean? I'm caging up.
Yeah. And I mean, for him, maybe he just figured he didn't have enough time to do it. But again, like all it takes I think we discussed this for my game last week, was, all it takes is one bad block or one bad dodge, and suddenly ball goes a completely other direction.
Yes.
So I think that's kind of a missed opportunity for him to not set someone up, even though we can see now he would not have had a chance at him.
No.
But he might have played a little bit more aggressively or done a couple of things differently just to see if he could have pulled it off. You know what? I don't think enough Amazons were stunned there.
No. That pitch invasion was definitely so. It's weird, right? So part of me goes, cool, but I cannot at all take advantage of this pitch invasion. So if anything, that was the worst thing that could have happened to me because that stole block attempts from me.
Yeah, you can't throw block dice on these, and you don't have the movement to take advantage of this to the degree that a lot of other teams could.
Yeah, so that pitch invasion was nothing. Like, and I know it probably felt bad at the time for Jester, but like it.
Yeah. This is not a factor for him.
Yeah.
To him, this was best case scenario, because unlike
it's the stuns I would have given him to him anyways.
Yeah, I mean it's not Circus or Skaven that he's up against right now, or even Chaos.
Yeah.
It's Dwarves. You're not gonna. By the time those players get up at the end of this turn, you're gonna move minimally.
Yeah.
He could have not moved anyone. He could have just picked up his players, and you still would not have been in position to take advantage of that.
Nope.
He is, however, going for the ball pretty aggressively.
Mm-hmm.
As one might expect. You're leaving that safety back there.
All right. That's what kind of player I am, or rather coach.
This is bold.
Get out of my way.
Leaving the ball carrier engaged is a pretty bold strategy.
That's how I roll, man. I want you to go for the ball, because then that gives me a target to hit.
I will say that may be a decision that I do differently. That might be the role that I'm not a fan of.
Eh, we'll see what happens with it. At this point, because I haven't injured anybody, I've pretty much, in my mind, conceded the game. But I'm still gonna I'm gonna try to get as much star player points as possible.
Right.
I don't think there's any chance of me winning this.
I mean, a draw is still a good result.
Yeah, and that's obviously why, I'm not just like keeping the ball wherever, I mean, I'm actually pushing the ball forward and trying to get it, but I don't think a touchdown is going to happen because the thing is like, yeah, he might not ever touch the ball, but I'm not getting, I'm going to be getting one space a turn at best. He will engage my cage every turn.
Do you think he was jealous that you were throwing so many one dies and decided that he wanted to throw a bunch of one dies?
I guess.
Because Amazons are not a team where I would do that like regularly. Like I could see times where, you've got a lot of dodge, you've got a fair amount of block on some of those guys. Maybe you one die an unskilled chaos player.
Yeah.
I don't know if I do it against the team that has tackle on everyone.
So this is why I wasn't worried about leaving that those players against my ball carrier, because I have my whole team down here. He has like 3 players. Like, okay, you put my guy down. Where's the ball go? In between 9 of my players.
Yeah.
It's just he can't take advantage of anything, and the more I make that ball tasty to him, it forces him to bring his players in to get engaged. And that's basically all he's doing, is bringing them in. And I'm not afraid of those 1 dice, which he should be.
Yeah. He is being very aggressive right here.
Yeah, and
with these players, and we harp on it every week, where you want to take the best statistical odds that you can, and 1 dice are almost never the best statistical odds that you can for most teams. Your team being a very weird exception, and there were even matchups where for your team I would say, no, that's a bad idea.
Well, yeah, and there's been even 1 dice in this game that probably I shouldn't have done. But I'm also not playing to win. I'm playing to grow.
Yeah.
A touchdown doesn't do me as much good as getting a couple injuries.
Yeah, 2 injuries is more than 1 touchdown. For you want to throw enough blocks that 2 injuries can happen.
Just can't. Despite being able to throw blocks at almost every player every turn, I can't get them.
Yeah, these are some impressive pen rolls.
Well, the thing is like the way we know the stats are, the rolls are going to look like garbage on his side.
Yeah.
It's just throwing so many blocks.
And just stun city.
And got the ball. All his players are over there. All but 1 engaged.
I bet he blitzes number 6. If I were just to throw a guess out there.
He's got the blitzer open for it. Engage now, though. And I guess why not throw the blocks? You literally haven't been hurt yet. Aha! In your fucking face. He went after number. I can't even see his number.
Yeah, he took a very different angle than I thought he would.
Yeah, but he got engaged with the ball carrier. And again, this is why this team cannot get a touchdown when it's even players, because he will engage me every turn.
Yeah. Especially this team. Jester is a very aggressive coach.
Yes.
And he was this way in previous season, or it was the last season of BTBT with his necromantic team. Very aggressive with that one. Which, once he learned to balance aggressiveness with odds, that his team became very scary towards the end of that season. But yeah, at the beginning, you definitely saw some of that aggression.
So in my face,
slightly less effective.
My first KO this half, and he turned it into a stun.
Yep, nailed it.
And this is my effort to be like, all right, I'm not getting the injuries. The game no longer is going to be altered by injuries, so I am going to go for this touchdown. And I'm just hoping he fails a dodge.
I wonder if I might have followed up there.
The only reason
I might have followed up there, yeah, I guess it would have been 2 die uphill. Oh no, because he would have had to dodge into 2 tackle zones.
Well, the only reason that I didn't want to do that was because I wanted to clog that lane.
Yeah, so I look at that lane. If you move into there, the only way to engage the ball carrier in any direction is to dodge into 3 tackle zones.
Mm-hmm.
And it would have helped keep that guy marked and, tie up another person.
And
Is
of
that
course,
what makes the difference? Probably not.
and ultimately didn't matter any direction because the one die worked.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, though, if you're a fan of one dice, this is the game.
Yeah. All right. Well, the ball's still in a great position for me. I got all my players surrounding his players. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I've lost possession of the ball. He's got too many players adjacent to it. I cannot win. Now I can stop him from getting star player points. So just doing everything I can to play as well as I can. And then that's when the pushes start raining down. And I think that's one of the things is like, I don't roll, like if I'm doing 2 die, I'm probably doing a push afterwards. Like that's how my 2 die end up.
Dude, Stun City. I mean, the great part is that your pen rolls look amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, my pen rolls are pretty good. All right, so he's surrounded right now.
Man, he really wanted that ball. He had an opportunity to potentially get someone down here to actually be a receiver, and then he'd be in great position. If he just sent one player down there, he'd been so good a position.
Those catchers are all engaged.
Yep.
Like he's throwing blocks with catchers, my dude, and I'm the one with the ball now.
I'm not sure about picking that up.
Nope.
2 tackle zones on it?
Nope. On his side of the field with that little left with no receiver on his side and all his players blocked up. Touching that ball was only like even if he picked it up, what is he gonna do with it?
Yeah. Where you gonna go, bro?
So that ball should have just laid there for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
And honestly, he should have one spaced up over there. Roll a death, and he already used his apothecary on a KO, so that is a death. That's stuff. That is a first level catcher.
Yeah. Lesson to pretty much anyone. KO is almost never the time that you're going to want to use that apothecary.
Yeah, unless you have wandering apothecaries. Yeah, if you have 2 wandering apothecaries and you have 3 turns left and there's a KO, yes. And then there we go.
There you go.
I needed to go for it I needed 1 go for it. And I failed it.
You needed 2 go for it, so you had already passed
1, 2, 3. Oh, that's right. At the time, yeah. I needed 2 go for it all together, and I was like, might as well take them early.
Yep.
And then failed it.
Technically, you can still score, though.
Yes.
Barely, but barely counts. So it just depends on what he does here and what happens to this guy.
No, I cannot. Because I'm movement allowance 4. When I stand up, I have 1 space and then 2 go for it. I cannot score anymore.
Well,
and I still have
1 space and 2 go for it. Yeah, because you lose 3 movement on the stand up.
Even if I were to bring someone up there to hand him the ball or pass, which I would have to do a pass with him in the end zone, I still couldn't get to the end zone.
I was thinking it was. I don't know why I was thinking it was only 2 movement loss. It's 3. Yeah, you're gonna be short.
So at this point, this is me throwing, trying to get one more injury, so that I have somebody level up. And just in case something spicy comes up, I don't want him to. I don't want him going for that ball.
Although again, I don't think he has a receiver, so I don't think he has a chance. Which I was probably a real wasted opportunity because there's a chance here.
I think I didn't even look at the backfield. I just knew that player wasn't going to do anything, so I just threw him over there.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I'm setting up for a receive. I'm trying to get 1 SP because I'm not going to get any from injuries, so I'm trying to get a pass. That's what that is. Here we go.
It's better because it's so close. Like it was a long one and missed by that much. You're like, yeah, that wasn't bad, but because it's basically a handoff.
So yeah, that's the end of my game. Let's see. Let's see what he does on his turn.
I guess he's also setting up a receiver.
Not that the loner matters for this. So yeah, there you go. He can get an SPP.
Interesting, he placed his receiver there instead of just up a little bit
Whatever.
because it goes from quick pass to short pass. Like he just unintentionally made that pass a little bit harder than it needed to
Yeah.
be.
So looking at mine again, a game with very few dice on my side. And if you look at
But
it,
this time, unlike last time, it skewed positive.
yes, decent. You know, pretty good number that direction. Looking at it, basically success throughout everything. The only things looking bad are go for its catches and pass, but you can basically just ignore these. But everything else, it's amazing rolls.
Yeah,
Um,
pretty positive overall. But this is the one that I'm curious about right here. There's gonna be a lot of rolls. Yep, sure enough, a lot of rolls here. And you had 19 armor pens.
mm-hmm.
And only, well, I guess 3 KOs because he had that one swapped out.
Yeah, and so these rolls look pretty even, but I venture to bet that his low rolls were all of his injury rolls. Because
That's a decent chance.
that is 19 successes on injury. That is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. But then there's that one.
Yep, got that one dead guy or lady. But yeah, here we go. 2 injuries.
Two
So
injuries? What was the second one? I remember the death.
I don't remember getting a second injury.
I don't remember it either.
Huh. Yeah.
And you definitely didn't pass that, or definitely didn't succeed that pass. So I guess they gave you one out of pity.
Yeah, I guess. Or maybe we missed it while we were battling.
We probably missed. Almost certainly we missed it.
But yeah, touchdown, and then so we got the same SPP. So he got the win. We got the same SPP. So what you got for me?
So for you, I stand by what I said
The wings.
about on the offense, watching those wings.
Okay.
Past that, man, I don't know what else you could have done. You were about as aggressive as I think you could have been, and with 19 armor breaks, but 1 injury, I don't know what else you could do, man.
Yeah. Jester played well. I mean, the game was fun. I was laughing, having a good time the entire time.
Jester's definitely playing really well this season. I
Mhm.
will say he is being very aggressive with throwing blocks, and he's not being nearly as aggressive with sending players downfield. And with his team, I understand why he wants to do that. I might flip those a little bit,
Mhm.
especially given your matchup. This is not the team I'm going to engage. Granted, I would have played more conservatively. You might have actually got a touchdown against me because I would have played more conservatively.
Mhm.
That aggression helped him. But 19 armor breaks on how many block dice thrown? Like, that is...
Yeah, statistics. 88 blocks succeeded.
Yeah, 88 blocks succeeded, and you had over nearly a fourth of those were armor pens.
Mm-hmm.
You got lucky, man. That's not what you want there. I would be less aggressive in the future as Amazons, and then just, especially when you have a speed advantage like he had here, I might keep an extra player or 2 downfield just to give me that last-ditch effort of a touchdown. Even feels like it's basically impossible. I'll also go for it.
Well, the good news is that he won probably his hardest mechanic matchup. So, like, Dwarves are the direct opposition of Amazon. They completely counteract everything that the Amazons have. So
Yeah.
coming out of this game with a win, that's huge for him.